Hey guys, welcome to M&M IELTS. In today's video, I will be sharing a few tips associated with your speaking section. And if you implement those tips, then it will help you to get your desired score. Let us have a look what those tips are. To start with, number one is do not give a one-word answer, extend the response. A very common piece of advice that I do give to a lot of students, because a lot of times when students are asked a question, they will give response like a close-end question. So what do I mean when I say that? Let's say I've asked you a question about your hobby, and I ask you, what are your hobbies? And you say, my hobbies are cooking and painting. That's it. So you've just mentioned your hobbies like a one or two word answer. But that is not a very good response, or that is not considered as a very good response in IELTS. So if you want to showcase that you're a proficient level speaker, then you have to give them a little bit of explanation as to why are you supporting painting or cooking or anything. So if you ask me, what are your hobbies? I will not just say, my hobby is, or what is your hobby? My hobby is gardening. No, I will not say that. I would say gardening and cooking, these two are my hobbies. And I love doing gardening a lot, because whenever I do gardening, it just makes me feel that I'm meditating and helps me relax. So I've given a point as to why gardening. Little bit of explanation, one line explanation, a little extended response. That is how you get a good score in IELTS speaking. The next is do not speak templates or memorized answers. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of students, they have templates, they have some set answers that someone has given them, some teacher has given them, some friend has given them. I would never recommend using templates or a prepared answer from someone to speak in your exam. You have to understand one thing, that when you go and sit in that examination room and the person sitting opposite you has a lot of experience, so you are not there to fool that person, or you're not there to show that I'm very smart. You're not there to do that. You're just there to show that I can communicate well in English. That's it. For which, if you practice well and if you answer honestly because you've practiced properly, that is enough. Please do not memorize answers or templates, because when you speak something that is memorized, anybody can tell that this is a memorized response, and you will not get your desired band, because the examiner will identify that the response you're giving is definitely a memorized answer or some sort of a template, because they take tests every single day, and so many students, they come there, they sit, they speak, they talk, and that's how they exactly know that what is happening. Is this a memorized answer, or is this a memorized template? I am not in favor of using them. Please give answers from your heart or based on the practice that you've done. So you have to make sure that when you speak, when you talk, you should be expressing. You should not be mugging up answers the way we used to do in schools. In history, we used to just mug up and then just speak or write in the exam. That was a different story. But English, nah, not in IELTS, not recommended. The next is also very important, speaking fluently and clearly. So whenever you talk, whenever you communicate, your fluency and pronunciation matters. Now, a lot of times students misunderstand. They think that speaking fluently means you have to speak very fast, and if you speak very fast, that means your English is very good. Like right now, I'm communicating with you, but I'm not speaking very fast. I'm just making sure that whatever I speak is clear, which means whosoever is watching, whosoever is listening to my video, they should clearly understand what I am saying. Every single word that I say is clear. That is my intention, which is I have to make sure that my pronunciation is clear. And whatever I am speaking, it's in a good flow. I am fluent, I am not hesitating, and I'm not taking unwanted pauses. That is what means to speak or communicate fluently or clearly. A lot of times students misunderstand and they think that Pronunciation means if I create some fake accent, that will help me get a better score. Trust me, the examiner there, they do not care what accent you have. You can have any accent, it is not going to help you to get a better score. The thing that will help you to get a better score is speaking clearly so that the examiner can understand what you're saying, what you're trying to communicate, and speaking fluently, which means in a good flow without taking any unwanted pauses or without having any hesitations. That is what you need to be careful of. The next step for you is practice real exam questions. Very important. Try and solve as many Cambridge exam papers as you can. Go through every single question from those papers, because the more questions, the more exam questions you come across, the more brainstorming you can do, the more you can sit and think, the more pointers you can write down in the notebook that if I get this question or something similar, what should I say? What should I think? How should I make points? How should I utilize my preparation time, and what sort of keywords do I need to write so that I can speak spontaneously at that very moment without delaying or without being nervous. So the more exam questions you practice, the better. The next one for you would be record yourself when you practice. Now I understand that you have heard this maybe a lot of times. A lot of people have told you, maybe you feel that it's a waste of your time. I do understand that this method does involve or does include a lot of time investment, but I do not consider that as a waste of time. I consider that as investing time investment, because when you speak, when you're talking, your 100% focus is in talking. You cannot evaluate yourself when you talk. There is no way that you can do that, because it's like doing two separate things, east and west, at the same time. Sunrise and sunset at the same spot cannot happen at the same time. So what you can do is that when you talk, focus 100% on talking, but your mobile or your recorder can be of your help. Turn it on. Do not get conscious because you're getting recorded. Speak whatever you feel like. Talk the way you would normally talk in your exam. And then what you can do is at night when you go to sleep, because at night you're tired, like you've worked hard the whole day, you're a student, maybe you're working full time, and then you've done your studies. So at night when you go to bed, listen to your audio. Listen to things like, am I nervous? Am I repeating a lot? Am I using the same word again and again? Am I breathing heavily? Am I panicking? Whatever the question was, did I answer the question correctly? Ask these questions to yourself, when you ask these questions to yourself and you answer yourself as well, that yes, I can feel the nervousness in the voice, yes, I'm breathing heavily, yes, I'm panicking, or whatever it is, you have to make sure that next day when you practice, you keep those things in mind and then you practice so that you don't repeat the same mistake again and again. Recording will only help you to improve and go further and not take you backwards. So it is a very good practice to do that. The next point is use your preparation time wisely. Now, using preparation time is crucial because that is when you can do some brainstorming with yourself. Whenever you get a question, let's say you have a cue card in front of you and you have 3 questions on cue card. Now you have 1 minute to prepare. You only have 1 minute, 60 seconds to prepare. If you waste even 5 seconds out of 60 seconds, that is a lot of wastage, I would consider. Hence, you have to make sure that you make a proper use, efficient use of those 60 seconds that you get to prepare. So what you can do is whenever you practice speaking, you have to make sure that you take the exact same amount of preparation time that you will get in exam. You should not be taking more preparation time. And always be ready with your pen and paper during your preparation time and write down the key pointers that you would like to discuss when you are preparing. And then when you are actually answering, make sure you do look at those points, you do refer to those points and follow the sequence while expressing your answer. Very important. The next thing is be confident, calm and composed. Very basic suggestion, but very important. Why? Because when you're calm, when you're composed, you can think properly. When you think properly, you can respond properly, you can answer properly, you can listen to what has been asked, you can read properly what has been asked, and then you answer accordingly. And also, when you're calm and composed, it helps you to answer confidently. When you're confident, you're more fluent. When you're confident, when you're clear, it is all connected, it is all interconnected, intertwined, I would say. One thing is related to the other, and hence it is very important that you keep yourself calm, composed, confident, clear, so that whatever you want to communicate, whatever answer you have in your mind, you're able to give your best shot and get your desired score. I hope these tips, you've noted them down, because they will help you to get your score in speaking section. If there is anything that is bothering you in IELTS, please put that in the comment section below. Mohit and I, we are more than happy to make videos on topics that you are facing problems with, or any other concerns that you may have associated with your IELTS exam. All the very best. Take care.